Okay, so I'm thinking about life and existence right now, and the idea or concept of eternity. And I've always thought to myself, like, you know, what can you do for eternity? From just a strictly human perspective, it's very difficult to wrap our mind around infinite. Because we live in a very finite material realm. So it's really hard to imagine infinite. But I heard an example that made sense, and it's, imagine your brain. Your brain can just keep on learning things. As long as there can be new things created through different combinations of things, you can always keep learning. You can always keep evolving. I also like to think of it in the sense of numbers. So we have 1 through 9 essentially in this matrix. And we also have 0. But those numbers just repeat themselves. Then we have positive, negative versions of it. And then we have 9. Negative 9. We have 90, negative 90, 909, negative 909. Because you can always add a new number, essentially we have, then I would say 10 basic numbers, because 1 through 9 and 0, and they just repeat. Something else I wanted to add is that we don't need all the numbers 1 through 9. All you really need, and I forget what it's called, it's literally the matrix where it's just zeros and ones, and it's nothing and something. That's all we really need, is that nothing and that something. And then it's 0 is nothing, 1 is something, 0, 1 is 2. It's how far away you are from 0. I don't know, you can look it up, counting with zeros and ones, the way that they do it, but you literally can. You don't need all 9 numbers. Same thing like music notes. You have do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, and you go through those, and there's a F sharp, a B sharp, all these things. But you can create different combinations, and with each new combination you create, that's a new combination that can be created. That's essentially infinite. So, to put another example of it, how our soul moves through the infinite is through experience, and through experience comes truth and understanding. And I was telling my boyfriend the other day, how funny if all life is just the search for truth. That's what we're doing, is searching for truth in everything. It would be an interesting concept. But besides that, I like to think of, infinite as a circle. And so we go through patterns and repetitions. Let's say, what's an example? You're trying to learn how to play a song on the guitar. So you go through cycles trying to learn, and let's say, you play it your first time and it's really choppy. It's really, you were able to play the song, you went through all the learning phase, all the whatever, and you finally reach a point, boom, you're able to play the song, but it's choppy. So you go through that refinement, you refine, you just keep going in that circle till you're like, yep, I'm content with that circle. That circle is closed. I have done everything I can do in that circle. Circle's done. You've played the song to the best of your abilities, or perfectly, however you want to describe it. Then you're kind of done with that chapter. That was a learning. You went through that lesson. That door is now not closed, but you walked through it. Now you're on to the next door. And so while we're going through these circles of little things and learning things, we're also going through bigger circles and bigger that go through lifetimes to learn. Sometimes it can take a soul 1,000 years to learn something. They have to go through different bodies, different experience, whatever it is. It's just that circle of learning till you have literally learned, and then you refine, until it's refined to the best of your abilities or to perfection, whatever it is. And so when you look at it that way, of our souls are learning, we can learn for an infinite amount of time. There are always things to learn. That's honestly who I think God is the desire to learn, to grow, to, and again, that's a very cheap explanation because God is everything. God is everything. But to try and define in specific parts, I would say a big characteristic from my perspective is the desire to learn and to grow and to evolve. And yeah, like I think even who we are as souls, we're just a fractal of God, and God's like, oh, I want to experience life as a, insert my age, insert where I live, insert whatever, my characteristics. God's like, oh yeah, I want to experience that. And then once God reaches a point where God's like, oh yeah, like I want this soul to experience something different, I'm gonna go to that something different, like, because that's God's will. And of who I am, God's will is also my will because I trust God. And so like, I think with the infinite, we are just souls on this journey of learning. And that's why too there's this saying of like, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. It's because there is no destination per se, because everything is infinite. You are already there. It is just about being there in the infinite. That's the destination. Sometimes I say things that surprise even me. Like that's really insightful. But it is true. It's what I'm feeling. Well, just because I'm feeling it doesn't mean it's true. But for me it does to a certain extent. I resonate with the truth deeply. So yeah. I think that, you know, I used to get caught up in the ideas of like, well, what is it? Like, are we perfectly imperfect and everything is finished and, you know, we just have to be and exist? Or is there right and wrong and we need to learn and we need to challenge and we need to, you know, grow and this and that and whatever. I was really battling between the two for so long. Like, it's one or the other. Then I thought of this taco commercial where this little girl is deciding between a soft shell taco or a hard shell, or like her family is, and she's like, ¿Por qué no dos? Like, why can't it be both? You can have a hard shell and a soft shell, and they like mix the two tacos. That's what I think it is. I think that, you know, we are perfectly imperfect. We're here now. We're present here now. That's all we need to do. But we also should have our hearts aligned with evolving upwards with God, with everything, through higher understanding. We don't want to regress as, you know, life, God, everything continues to evolve. Everything around us continues to evolve. We don't want to stay stuck and we don't want to regress. We want to move with God, with life, and that isn't always the easiest thing to do. It comes with letting go of a lot of stuff, dissolving, transmuting. That can be challenging for people, but it's necessary. So, you know, you can sit here in the present moment and be yourself fully. You're allowed to make mistakes. You're allowed to do whatever, but that doesn't mean that because you're allowed to make mistakes, you can do whatever you want. You should, and you are allowed to do whatever you want, but that doesn't mean you should do wrong onto people, because there's an inner knowing that that is not evolving higher. That will not evolve me and life as a whole upwards. That will either regress life and progress myself, but eventually through the regression of life and progression of myself, I am regressing myself, because I live in life. Now I'm getting really like woo-woo with it, but that's all I'm really saying is the infinite is the journey. The destination is right here, right now. Being in the moment, fully present, connected with God, connected with ourselves, connected with those around us, connected with our planet, connected with, just connected. And wanting to evolve upwards and continuing that upwards growth towards infinite. It's like, we're just evolving up, 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 up. Just like you can evolve down, 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 down. As low as you want to go, you can evolve as high as you want to go. It's infinite. It's just learning, continuously learning, whether you're learning a song or you're learning something that takes 1,000 years and multiple lifetimes. Whatever it is, we're constantly learning from different perspectives, and we just have to embody our perspective, purify ourselves, our soul, so that it is in unison, and evolve up, keep evolving up. It's not to say, we can't digress, we can't whatever, we can make mistakes and go down, but we should always strive to evolve up, We can digress, maybe there are things to be learned, whatever. I don't know that side too well. I don't know. I know for negativity, it can be used. Sometimes you have to go to the darkest of the trenches to see the brightest of truths, because you have to understand the other side so deeply that you can understand the positive side. So you have to understand the negative so much that you can understand the positive. Again, I don't know to what extent, because my relationship with negativity is it shouldn't be avoided, but it should be looked at and dealt with. And if you can't deal with it, then just keep trying to figure it out. Besides that, kind of got off topic. That was all I really wanted to say. Keep it at about 12 minutes. If you have any other things you want me to talk about, leave it in the comments. You have, words of encouragement, leave it in the comments. If you're not vibing with me, you can also leave that in the comments. I would appreciate not hate speech, not offensiveness. You're entitled to speak your truth. You can do whatever, but I would I don't know, just do you. But I would not leave hateful things on other people's material. Whatever. Who cares? Do you? You'll figure it out. I just advise no. Besides that all, that's all I really wanted to say. Leave any questions, whatever. Illy. And yeah, that's it. Okay. Such a long outro. My B, y'all.